very much. Appreciate you being here. Hasn't been so long, late last night. And we're having some very good times in our country. We're doing very well, except for the border. The border is a big problem. It's a very dangerous problem. And so I can talk all about the job numbers and how well we're doing on the economy. The stock market's up. I guess now we're over 30% since the election. So many good things are happening, but we have to take care of the border. And we're all working together. I really believe the Democrats and the Republicans are working together. I think that something will happen, I hope. Otherwise, we'll go about it in a different manner. And I don't think we'll have to do that, but you never know. In a few moments, I'll sign legislation continuing my administration's extensive efforts to combat the scourge of human trafficking. I spoke about it last night, human trafficking. It really hits a nerve. We're talking about, in many cases, women and children grabbed, thrown into the backseat of a car or thrown into a van with no windows, with no any form of air, tape put across their mouths, and they're brought across the border. And they don't go through checkpoints. They go through the emptiest spot they can find, with no walls, with no fences. I want to thank Vice President Pence, who's here, Secretary Nielsen, Acting Attorney General Whitaker, Secretary Azar, a woman known as Ivanka Trump. She's a great one. Where is Ivanka? Good. Hi, Ivanka. She's worked very hard on this. This is very close to her heart. Deputy Secretary Sullivan, Administrator Green, Acting Director Vitello, Assistant Secretary Johnson, and Ambassador Richmond for being here today. It's a group of people that has really, really worked, and they worked hard. I also want to recognize a great friend of mine, a man who's done so well and so popular in the state of Ohio, Rob Portman. Where's Rob? Great job, Rob. Appreciate it. And Senator Chris Coons, who on occasion we disagree, but I actually like him. We pray together, right? So that's a good step. Representatives Michael McCall, my friend, Susan Brooks, Ann Wagner, and Chris Smith. I signed Representative Smith's anti-trafficking bill yesterday. That was just signed, and I want to thank you very much. You worked hard on it. We all worked hard on it. Anti-trafficking, just so we understand, human trafficking now is bigger worldwide. This is not a U.S. situation. This is a world situation. Because of the internet, far worse than it ever has been. You would think that was an ancient form of criminality. It's not. It's a very modern day form, and because of the internet, what they do with the internet, how they find people through the internet, is disgraceful. We're also honored to be joined by many from law enforcement who fight this heinous crime every single day. Finally, I want to thank the inspiring advocates and survivors, and we have numerous of them with us, and maybe they'll say a few words. My administration has made the fight against human trafficking one of the highest priorities. Today's bill marks the fourth robust piece of bipartisan legislation, and it is bipartisan, I have to tell you. The Democrats have been great, that I've signed. In just the last few weeks, we have a couple of others here that are already signed, having to do with the same situation. A little different, but all related. And it's just over the last couple of weeks that we've signed this. It's been a very strong priority, but it's not easy getting everyone together. But this was, Chris, I would say about as easy as it gets, because this is a problem that there is no definition of the other side. There's only one side. So I want to thank Democrats for helping us out with this one. But still much work remains. We cannot defeat the menace of international human trafficking if we do not secure our border. They're bringing them through the border. That's where they're coming from in this part of the world. All over the world, but in this part of the world, they're bringing them through the border. They're driving in, and they're not going through checkpoints, because you can't have 4 or 5 people sitting in the back of a car with tape over your mouth and your hands tied and go through somebody that's checking out your car or your van. Unsecure borders allow traffickers clear passage to transport their victims. And into the United States is very easy to come. All you do is drive
How to organize receipts.
20 miles one way or the other, and you'll find an open spot where there's no protection. And then you'll go hundreds of miles where you'll see pure open spots. In fiscal year 2018, ICE made more than 1,500 human trafficking arrests, mostly sex trafficking. I'd like to ask Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker and Assistant Attorney General Eric Dreiband to say a few words about the recent case that dismantled a Mexican sex trafficking organization.